All right. Don't you know? Don't you know? I love saying it like that since Carl's been saying it like that. He totally changed. I feel like he changed the entire intro of the show.
Just
Welcome to another episode of the Chirping Pucks podcast. I'm the host, Frankie James. We're along with Coach Bex doing your thing. What's going on, Bex? How are you?
hey, doing good, man. I can't tell you how
I know.
hype I
That's
am for this show.
I know. I know. Pretty
I'm like
exciting.
one of like I'm trying real hard not to like bounce out here, but I'm
It's
I'm I'm so stoked between that and Flyers hockey's back.
Flyers hockey. I
Oh,
know it's
good
back, and
day.
it all surrounds because and just to get into it before, make sure you follow the Triple Bucks podcast on YouTube, on social media, all that good stuff. You know where to find us. Most people already kind of do. Thank you for the support. But yeah, especially coming off this weekend, being at training camp, first assignment of the season. But you were down there, we were down there doing photo work. Your article should be published soon, so that I'm really excited about that. But we also got to hang out with our guest tonight a little bit and watch her in action, which was so cool because before she came on, and I'll dive more into it like when she gets here. Like it was the first time that like I got to see a female official in action, and it just so happens that it's someone that's like extremely close to you, and I got to like learn a little bit and just what she was just incredible to watch. But like, why waste any time? We're going to get her in here, the one and only, the official of the year, just coming off of her fourth Flyers training camp, doing some refereeing over there. Let's get her in here, the one and only Laura White. Laura, round of applause. There we go. How we doing, Laura?
Hey, lady.
Hello, friends.
Thanks for joining us tonight. It's like I literally feel like we were just all with each other, and that's exactly because we were just with each other. And we're gonna dive into like a little bit of our Flyers talk here, which of course is sponsored by the Edge of Philly Sports Network. Please follow Edge of Philly Sports Network on all their social medias. I'm pretty sure they're probably live right now. Maddie B is actually live right now, talking some Flyers coverage. So we're gonna get into a little bit of fly by Flyers coverage, and we're gonna talk about training camp. And obviously, Bex and I got to be down there, and you did as well. And I want you to kind of talk to us about, this being your fourth year at Flyers training camp. Like, how did that start? Like getting that call, because that's got to be unbelievable. So tell us a little bit about like when you first got that call and what it's been like the last 4 years.
I mean, it's been an honor to be selected for it. Local assigners obviously are a lot of communication with each other and kind of trying to pick from the area of the officials that they have to be able to work that camp, and to be on that list is always. Oh, I'm always excited about it.
Who's the assigner for that? Because obviously people know that I'm a referee. I'm a level one. Don't even put me in the same category or conversation as Laura, please. I won't. I won't even accept that. But like, how does that get like for like an assigner standpoint? Like who's the assigner for that? That does like the
That
Flyers.
one's Tim Holtz. He actually puts out a list of general interest and availability first, and then he makes selections from there and assigns based on schedule availability and who he
So
has on
many
the
people
team.
will probably want a piece of that action. I mean, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? And I'm sure they got to be a suitable candidate for that kind of thing. They're not going to throw me into that mix. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like the AHL officials wear their obviously their AHL gear. We've had the
Mm,
SU, we've had ECHL this past year, representing their leagues as well. And
hmm I love that. That's pretty awesome. It was a good training camp, and like from your first game to your fourth game, doing it your first season, fourth season. Like, how were you going in with your first season? How was it going in with your fourth season? The nerves still there?
always nervous, always.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we're there to support the camp, to do whatever coach wants us to do as far as format, as far as even just calls that they want, just to keep the game flowing. It's
Yeah.
all about what they need for camp. So it's nice for us to get together and skate. It's obviously a great skate going into season for us and going into training camp. So for us as officials as well. So getting that skating is important.
For sure, and it's funny because Bex brought this up to me. So, correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I don't think we are. If there's a penalty call, so you get a penalty shot during that training camp. Is that true, or is that actually like you got taken down coming in? Because I think I saw Tyson Forster get a penalty shot during that game.
Yeah, they take penalty shots. It started with just a penalty shot, then a puck drop, and then it kind of developed into they just want to keep it flowing. So it was a penalty shot with a chase. So the shooter had to make their move quick, and then they just kept
Yeah,
playing. Whether
yeah,
it was a goal or not,
I
he
love
picked
that.
it up, and yeah.
That's so cool. I think he scored though. I think Tyson actually scored the goal on that one. It was so much fun, like seeing you do your thing. It was very, very exciting. And just want to make like a little note, just because we were talking about beforehand. Like watching Laura do her thing and like seeing like my the first time I got to see a women official ref a game, and then literally the next day I got the opportunity to ref two women's games for the junior Flyers, and I was very, very, very nervous. And after talking with Laura and Santora was involved as well. And then my assigner Brian McCullough, a little shout out to him. He had a conversation with Laura, and they gave me the confidence to be able to do that game because I was actually telling Brian I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think I was prepared. And phone call came in, and Laura and Brian had a conversation, and Laura came right up to me and said, "You're going to do fine. He selected you for a reason. He thinks that you're ready, and you're going to do just fine." And I was able to go out there and do those games, and it went so well. So I got to thank you for giving me that confidence. Whether you think you did or you didn't, you absolutely did. So thank you so much for that because I don't think I would have done it, and I mean that. I don't think I would have done it if we didn't have those conversations. I think I would have bowed, and I think I would, and I know that I would have really, really regretted doing that. Has that ever happened, like for you, in like in a situation where like you feel like a ref isn't ready, and they kind of have a conversation with you, or you kind of just like, hey, you're gonna do fine? Like, has that ever happened for you? Have you been put in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me. It's happened for me, where you get an assignment and it's like, oh, like, are we sure? Like, my very first, my very first nationals, I was put in. I went to districts like a couple weeks before, and I only ever lined a game. I've never abandoned a game. I've never been in a three official system. I've never been
Mm-hmm.
the ref in the middle. So I literally get to nationals. They're like, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." I get to nationals. I was like, "Are you guys sure? Like, we don't really want to guinea pig this right now." And they're like, "No, like it's fine. Like we will help you."
What a
And
test
I
run!
sat down with a couple officials before the game. I sat watching games like from the top, and it was just a great experience. And obviously, it
Yeah,
launched that particular weekend really launched my career as far as
I,
officiating. So
I
taking those
love that.
leaps and having those people that support you, and they ask the questions, they ask the people around you, they ask the people you've worked with, or they go and take the time and see you themselves, and they want the game to grow, they want the officials to develop, and it's just all for the good of hockey.
I love that, and like I said, I just got to throw it out. Like I appreciate it because like I said, I don't know if I would have done it if it wasn't for you and Brian and Santora. And even if Santora was a little hesitant, but you know, and listen, I've always gone to him for questions, and it's great knowing how close you guys are. And but like, yeah, you and Brian really, really helped me out a lot. So I want to thank you. But Bex, anything you want to add on that topic? Just just kind of like a little bit about training camp and stuff like that.
I mean, training camp itself, really awesome to be at. The intensity was definitely there. Laura, you and I were, I know, talking about that, like just the fight that like was going into these. It wasn't just like, oh, we're scrimmaging and like we'll get into like playing hard when we start doing like preseason games. Like they were, you were in the middle of a scrum there, like,
Yes, you was.
that's a scrimmage, an inter team scrimmage. So yeah, that was really
I was
awesome.
hanging out on the side.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, you're the ref. You're not supposed to be like in there, but like you were there.
you were
Yeah,
there.
no,
We
it's
got
intense.
photographs to prove it. Well, you were absolutely there.
They're intense. I mean, they're vying for spots. They're fighting for their position, and it's it's their lives. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
But yeah.
awesome. It was a cool experience. It was. Have you ever been involved in like a little scrum like that before? Has that ever
yeah,
happened for? Yeah, I
yes.
believe so. I remember so.
Nets have been sent. There's pictures from me from last year where the net's gone, and yeah,
I love that. Speaking of, we got a comment here from the one and only Brad Shooks, the Crawl Daddy, checking in. Legends. Brad, thanks for checking in. I know you were working earlier. Appreciate you checking in, my friend. So we're gonna continue on, and we're gonna kind of go into a little bit of like your hockey history. Um, obviously the officiating comes later on, but like from like a player standpoint as well. Like, when did you start like playing hockey? Take us through that, and Bex, you could jump in as well.
I started skating good old pond hockey at Cooper River. No, I don't know what that means
Oh,
to
nice,
locally. That'll mean a lot to quite a
nice.
few people. But I used to be in the PM kindergarten class, and my dad would take me skating in the morning, and then we would come home, watch The Price is Right, have some lunch, and go to kindergarten. So that's
so awesome.
That's where I first started skating, and then my older brother John played hockey as well. So
shout out to John, Big John, love him, great guy.
My learn to skate was pushing John in a chair. So I was really working on my power skating while he sat in a chair.
Great power skater you are, really.
So yeah, you got to learn through the hard ways. But
yeah, I love that. So starting early, obviously, just kind of getting into it. Like, when was like the first club that like you had started to play for? Like, how old were you? Like, was it like a high school team, or was it even before that? What? And then actually, I want to ask the question next. You can lead into it of when you and Bex kind of met and that little history. I know your father's told me that story, but I want the audience to definitely hear that one.
I mean, I've played many hockey teams. I grew up. The very first was when I was 4. Was my first travel team. Was little Calgary Flames out of the old what is now a basketball arena.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but it then I played for the Thunderbirds through Flyer Skate Zone. It was the original team out of there was the Thunderbirds. They grew into the Junior Phantoms.
Oh, nice.
Played men's hockey up until I was like U18s, which I was playing on both. I started playing women's hockey about U16s. Played Little Flyers, and then Princeton Tiger Lilies, where
Princeton Tiger Lilies.
This matchup over here with the battles, the practice battles.
It got intense in Tiger Lilies. It started at Little Flyers. So
I would just pick someone on the other team that you're like, that person's not going to beat me.
I love it. So let's hear it. Let's hear the story of how Hughes two came about, because you guys have been friends for a long time. So Bex, we'll as co-host, we'll give you the first crack at telling what happened and how you guys met and when it came about on the ice.
So we did a lot of shared practices between the 19U and the 16U team back in Little Flyers, and I don't know any other way but to go hard, and Laura doesn't know any other way but to go hard. And so we just ended up just like constantly battling. And I don't think we really knew like who the other one was or anything like that, but it was just like one of those things like, oh, you're that person. And then if we fast forward a couple of years, I ended up at Tiger Lilies. Laura was at Robert Morris, and home for the Tiger Lilies summer skates. So the 19U team used to play all the college girls, in the summer. And by this point, like Laura and I have like, now we know each other. We're like friends, but like, like just because like
there's
we're
still
at
that competitive atmosphere.
Right, like, and we've been around each other, following each other, or me really following her, I guess. What is it? Age before beauty or something like that. So following her around. But yeah, so the story your dad was talking about is there was 2 weeks in a row where Laura and I just kind of kept ramping up all summer, and somebody sent her a buddy pass across the blue line. It was like a gift from God, and I got to put Laura White on her butt right at the blue line, like
this is why I'm not a forward.
Center.
You don't
get that pass.
Needless to say, that wasn't forgotten. And the very next week we come back out, and I'm now going down the boards with the puck, and Laura's like, oh, I got this.
Lining her up.
Oh, dude, I don't think I've ever been hit so hard in my life. I had a brand new pair of shoulder pads on. Brand new. I mean, this is the first time I wore these pads. I still remember they were like the blue Easton like Synergy shoulder pads. This chick hit me so hard, she broke my shoulder pads.
Oh my God.
The shoulder piece straight off the rest of the pad, hit that hard. Like that is Lauren.
That's a battle.
It relation.
wasn't forgotten. You got
It
that
was no
right.
call. It was fine. It was a clean hit.
It was a clean hit. It was just probably the hard. And I just like Laura played, through like midgets, things like that. And I don't think
Mhm.
I ever have been hit that hard in my life.
It's so funny. And seeing where you two are now is like great. I mean, listen, I have close friends that I have on the ice that like I love looking forward to playing them because I know how chippy it gets. But it's great I've always been such a believer of like leaving things on the ice and stuff like that. And like obviously, seeing how you two absolutely did that and seeing where your friendship is now, it's incredible. I guess like I'm gonna kind of do like a little interview with both of you here. Like, have you both ever gotten to play on the same team together?
We have played, I think, one tournament team.
Was
Like,
it
That's
just
cool.
charity?
yeah, just like a charity tournament together. Otherwise, we've mostly like been in the
Love the
same
battle.
organization but on different
Yeah.
teams or
Okay.
played against each other. Um and we
Hmm.
always tell people that like they should not make us play against each other because like you don't want to take the game to that level.
Wow, it can get so intense, and that's cool. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you guys known each other for? How long have you guys been friends for now?
God, what year is it?
I don't know. That's why I asked you.
I like to
Um
not think about how old I am.
I mean, let's put it this way. Our friendship can, I believe, legally drink and I believe can legally rent a car.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it there.
Perfect. I love it. That. Oh my god, you couldn't have said that any better. I love it. So what a background to be like playing for so long, and like you always look at players, and I didn't start playing ice hockey until I got to high school, like with like a little bit of roller experience. But hearing like that you started so young, like you could just see like it means it's a big deal because putting that time in and like starting early like definitely helps escalate to where essentially you are now. I'm sure with like skating and stuff like that because I've got to see you skate on the ice when when you were refing the at the Flyers train facility, and I was just watching and admiring. I was like, dude, I wish I could move like that because I'm like I look so ugly out there skating, like because all my games are mic'd up, so I'll go back and watch. I'm like, oh my god, this is appalling. Even Bex, like she'll tell me like, dude, we gotta work on that skating. It's like
And
I know.
I'm not a good skater either. Like we're not gonna blow Laura's head up, but I was like always like, damn, I wish I could skate like Whitey, like just so freaking smooth.
Smooth,
I
man.
that pushing that those power legs from pushing John around, man, dang, like I only had a little brother. That didn't help me at all.
Yeah, my older brother, twice my size. No, but if you ask Craig when he was recruiting me for PTL, he told my dad he'll take me, but I'm slow. So I've worked on my skating in my adult life. I've done a ton of power skating. I've done a ton of power skating camps through officiating. And everything from elite
Mhm.
camp. We've had someone from overseas come, Joy Johnson. She's done multiple Olympics for the for her country, and it's just been like listening to her power skating clinics. Like we still take notes, and that's how we teach our clinics through USA Hockey now. Is just I'm a better skater now than when I played.
And mind you, you were a
I love that.
D1 player.
Dude,
Yeah, wish I had that then.
it says a lot. Yeah. And kind of the transition obviously is something more recent, which is obviously Check for Charity, Krabby's Hockey. They've been part of it for so long. How did you get involved with Krabby's Hockey? And if you want to just kind of plug in and do a little mention of it, like because I got to watch you this year. You have a great club. You guys been involved with this tournament for so long. But, before we transition into obviously talking about some official stuff, talk about Krabby's Hockey a little bit and how you got on that team.
Yeah, so my brother actually created that team for the charity, and
Love
I
it.
actually stopped skating for a bit after I played D1 in college. I moved down to
Hmm.
Virginia. I was a government contractor down there, and I was kind of coming back and forth. And so my brother started that charity team, and I was just like, all right. I started skating, and he was like, you got to play. And I started skating. I was like, all right, I'm back in. Like I got sucked right back into the hockey life.
Sucked right back in.
Yeah, after taking a few years off, and it was just exactly what I needed, and it was just for such a great cause.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate situation, but with
sure.
Krabbe's disease, it was his friends and had a son with Krabbe's disease, and
Hmm.
the outcome wasn't looking great to begin with, and then through a bunch of experimental things and a lot of items that they've tried, a lot of surgeries.
Yeah,
Thankfully, Zach's still going strong, and
he
his
is.
parents are so good and just such great people. And through our team has been there from the beginning of Checking for Charity, and we just have such a great group of guys around it and their families. And we have actually had multiple teams in the past. We actually have us with the original Krabbies team, plus the Grizzlies with their whole entire group.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I think my buddy Matt Grennan, who's a good friend of mine, I believe that was part of that Grizzlies team. I think he actually played Krabby Zaki maybe last year or the year before.
Yeah, he was originally with the group, and when we split off to two teams, my brother with his injury wasn't doing both running both teams, so Matt took over running the Grizzlies and making sure the team was still going strong. And
he's the one to do it. Absolutely the one to do it. We got a few comments here. We're gonna just throw them up here. My buddy Desi, who'll be joining us next week. You're a speedster, Frankie. Desi, I appreciate that. Let's come on, brother.
Confident.
Yeah, very. Listen, everybody's boosting me up today. I appreciate it. Edge of Philly Sports, let's go. Checking for Charity. Appreciate you kind of jumping in. Edge of Philly. Always means a lot. Make sure you follow them on all their social media platforms. Yeah, Flyers hockey's right on the corner, so we'll be teaming up hardcore with them soon. But yeah, great organization. This was my fourth year volunteering with them, and the people I've been able to meet through, and the teams I've been able to shoot for. I mean, it's what an incredible like a hockey organization over there that they have, and like this tournament. It's actually like literally, I think I've done a lot of charity tournaments and shot out for a lot. It's probably the most competitive hockey tournament that I've ever been a part of. It's a lot of good talent from the pro-am division all the way down. I was shooting the 50 and older championship games. Whew, them guys, man, they're ruthless. They're ruthless, man. They're chippy as hell, and like they're like I was watching them, and those dudes can fly, and it makes me just remember how much I'm not a speedster. By the way, Dusty, because I'm like Jesus Christ, I couldn't keep up with these guys. Yeah, there's still time.
We'll see where we're in that 50 and over league.
We better be on the same team, Bex.
Yo,
yeah, right.
I can't be getting hit like that anymore. Come on now.
They were ruthless, but the kind of the transition now. We're gonna get into our blowing the whistle, becoming a referee. Bex, I'll let you kind of take lead on here as well. So when you started refereeing, was it? I mean, we obviously have it right here. But was this some of the first like high end hockey that you've been able to ref, or like where did it kind of start for you with refing? Were you just kind of like getting assigned like the lower level stuff and all that? If you don't mind just jumping into that a little bit.
So like I said, my older brother John White was a referee since he was young. He used to ride his bike to Pennsauken just to be able to officiate games. So he would take himself. He would haul his ref gear and bike up to the rink. So he's been an official for a very long time. And I was actually living down in Virginia when I first signed up for officiating, and I would drive home on the weekends. And I used to joke that my brother was my agent. So he used to.
Gotta have somebody. Gotta have some representation, man.
He knew all the assigners. He had, all the people. He had all the connects. So he used to talk to them and be like, my sister's skating. And of course they're like, can she, like having that conversation like we had earlier, like, is this person going to be a good fit for the game? Because we want to work on development, but obviously the game has to go and be fair. So he was my agent, and I would come up and I would stay at his house with him and his wife and the kids. And I would skate like 15 games a weekend and then go back to Virginia and just hang out with just hang out with my brother, his family, the kids, and skate. And I was absolutely loved it. Like I just wanted to come home and do that. So my brother got me into that. And while I was living down in Virginia, I got an email from, and I had a bunch of great people I worked with down there, but I got an email from the women's officiating development. It was Susan Collins at the time, and was like, all the women in the districts, like as an availability, as an option, here's a list, like, if you're eligible for districts, would you be interested? And I was like, absolutely. It was in Nashville. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go to Nashville. Like I had no idea what I was setting myself up for. It was just like, I'll just go away. And then I got, so she was asked the people around and went through her connections and was like, who is this person? Like, are they okay? Like, is it okay to bring them in? So the people I work with locally were like, okay, yes. So they sent me away to national or to districts. And I had no idea I was working with the like referee in chief of the Southeast District at the time. And
Wow.
I had no idea. He never said a word, never
As
once
he
even
probably
mentioned
wouldn't.
it. He was just like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be great. Here's what you
I
need to
love
do.
that.
Here's positioning. And he's like, you're fine. And I had no idea till like the third game I worked with him that that's like who he was. And he's like, what are you doing in a few weeks? And I was like, I don't know. Like it's March, like season's pretty much over. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, are you available to go to nationals? And I was like, I'm sorry,
Wow.
what? So
Wow.
yeah.
Meanwhile,
So we
Laura
felt like
covered one of my games while I was playing in Nashville at districts. So you can imagine he's dealing with me chirping her
Dude, that's
as
incredible.
she's a brand
I
new
didn't know
ref and
that.
she's handling it
Yeah.
marvelously. So not that I helped her career by like showing anything, but I'm just like I was there.
helps manage my emotions.
Yes, that.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. I love hearing that. So if you want me asking, obviously, because Santoro is a good friend of all of us all the way around. Did you meet Santoro when working at Penn Soccer? Because he shared some funny stories of you guys roughing together at Penn Soccer.
Yeah. Santor has been a good friend of me and my brother for a very, very long time, as Bex
Yeah.
have described. It's about the
Over
same
over
age
the,
bracket.
okay.
Yeah. He's I don't even want to know what he's brought up.
Yeah, I love it. He always gets mentioned, and I got him coming on next week, so we're super pumped up to finally get him on the show when we talk
I'll
about
be
the
sure
big
to be in the
event.
comments.
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be jumping in here soon if he hasn't already. We got some comments already on the screen. Um, little breaking news. Your article is officially up
Oh
on
boy.
Edge of Philly Sports. Laura's article is up for consumption. So we'll do that little plug right now. Make sure you go over to check out edgeofphillysports.com. Bax's first article on assignment covering Laura White is officially up. So go check that out. I'm so excited. A little breaking news. I didn't even hit the breaking news tab. I'm not excited. It's up there. Make sure everybody checks it out. I'll be checking that out after the show immediately. So yeah, it's go on edgeofphillysports.com / Laura White's Breaking Barriers. It's up there right now. Take a read. Jump in the comments. Tell us what you think. Man,
You
thanks
can
a lot,
also
Al,
pull it.
for
You
putting
can
that
also
on
pull it off their
us right
Twitter.
now. I
Yeah, so
love that.
it's there are a couple different ways for you guys to find it. It was really cool. I gotta say, Laura, it's kind of a pretty big honor to get to write my first article and have it be, about you. Like, I know you don't like to make things about you, but
I
like
know.
getting to write it about you and like I don't know, like there's just a level of extra bit of pride there for me
Mm-hmm.
to like you're so humble about like all the great things that
Public
you've
figurism.
accomplished. And
Literally.
so to have a platform to be able to shout from the rooftops, hey, my friend's pretty cool,
Let's
is
go.
is pretty awesome. P.S. Laura, I have to say this because you didn't. Laura went to Robert Morris. Laura has
Oh,
2 degrees, graduated in 4 years, and was a 2-sport D1 athlete. So, if you all just want to be humbled by a person and their dedication, their work ethic, and their brain, yeah, there's that's in her history. That's like
love that.
just a little
Just a little
you know
asterisk of the
yeah, just a
accolades
little
that Laura
thing.
has.
I'm
And,
a
and it's so
glutton for
true because,
punishment. I just wanted
yeah.
30 hours of practice a week.
And it's great because you see people that are involved, like, and like I said, Laura, like, I mean, you can be, and like Bex just said, being incredibly humble, like that public figure aspect can really get to people. And 100%, it just has not, gotten to a level of, and which it never probably will, where like I'm better than this. And like, because it happens within the media. We see it all the time. And, from like you being able to help me and give me that confidence, like I told Bex, I'm like, Bex, this is like, your first assignment, your first time down there covering. Laura's down there. Your first article is going to be about one of your best friends. This is an absolute perfect situation. And I couldn't, like, my happiness, like being already spending some time within the media, but like my happiness and like excitement going through Bex and seeing what she's going to be doing and like getting that first taste of seeing her interview you. Like I said, I got pictures of like her talking with you and they're so awesome. And I'll make sure that, I share them out with Edge of Philly Sports. And obviously I'll send you the link too. Like, it was just such a moment that like, and I'm a sass man. Like I'm just sitting there taking those photos and I'm like, dude, this is so cool being able to witness this because there's an over drinking limit age bracket here, so to speak, of like friendship and just two incredible ambassadors for the sport. It was just such an awesome thing to see, and I just gotta like applaud both of you, like just being able to. And thanks for taking the time too. Could you imagine if you would have walked over and like not interested in the interview and just I would be like, oh fuck. But that wasn't the case, and everybody has a right to decline and accept. And you came right over and fixed your hair, and you were ready to rock and roll, and it was really cool. You literally the same look, and it was really cool to be able to witness that. So I just got to throw that out there, and we'll start the transition now. Obviously, having the opportunity to ref college hockey as well, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you were the first ever women official to referee men's state championship. Is that correct, or did I word that wrong? Is that what it was?
For the high school. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, tell us a little bit about a little bit of your experience within like the college hockey world and like some of the things that you've been able to do with them.
For college hockey, I actually started locally. I've done a lot of the men's local leagues, D2 club, D1 club, things of that sort. And that's been through, again, the local assigners.
Hmm.
Schubert was assigning for a while with the.
I see his name. Yeah, I see his name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a well accomplished official as well, and he
Isn't it?
moved in the assigner role, and the development of officials has been really helpful, and just the community that has been built through around it has been super helpful of people that you can reach out to and ask, or if you even like in conversations in the locker room, you hear of another league and you're like, oh, like how do I get into that one? And they're like, oh, I'll send your name, or you can reach out to this person, and it's just there's so much hockey around this area, and we're very fortunate for that. But on the downside is it's really hard to keep track of. So just making sure that you're constantly communicating and just reaching out to say like, hey, I'm available to skate. My schedule's open. Or if I can get into it, like how do I get into it and what do I need to do? So
That's awesome. I love it. I love that. Actually, you want to comment anything on that?
No, but I did want to loop back. So
Sure.
nationals took you into like getting known for like into the IAHF because that's international hockey. We're talking world juniors, all of that stuff like that people are familiar with. So nationals took you there.
Yeah, so from there, a lot of evaluators, a lot of USA Hockey, obviously high representatives from that development side were there, and they put me into the position to go to district camp. So when I went to district camp, it was just like a long weekend of training and like kind of networking and basically like setting goals of what you want to do going forward. So at the time, like camps have kind of changed a little bit over the few years where the names have kind of changed, but it's kind of the same concept. We went to district camp at the time. Then we went to regional camp, which was the next step above. You had to apply, which actually my referee in chief at the time in my area was able to help me like write my application and like kind of
Love
like
it.
help me with that and like kind of like what I wanted to focus on and what I wanted to highlight. So I was accepted into regional camp. And then from there, I was selected or I applied again, like when it came out for elite camp. And elite camp is a week-long St. Cloud training camp where it's like fitness testing, rules testing, like there's some international like skaters there. That's where I at the time, like Joy was a instructor, and she was there teaching power skating. And you have officials that have been to the Olympics. You have officials that have done the college hockey route. They have such like high resumes. The ones that just want you to succeed, and the ones that just want to develop great officials that just have the love for the game. And so from there, I got my international license, and I get my first assignment. And like a couple months later, I was going to Taiwan, and it just says like, congratulations, you've been accepted. I'm like in my day job, like about to go into a meeting, and I'm like reading this email, like, how do I answer back real quick? And then I was like texting one of my instructors. I'm like, it doesn't say if I'm a ref or a lines person. Like, I don't, like, I was like, I don't know, like what I, like, obviously I was accepting
timing because you were getting all this information while you were working. Yeah.
I was like in the middle of like starting a meeting at work, like trying to answer this email. But I was just so excited. I wanted to like write back right away. But yeah, but we joke that my career has been a baptism by fire. I started late when I was officiating. Like I started at 26, I think it was.
Okay.
So I've only been officiating about 10 years. So as my
Mhm.
brother would say, I should have started sooner, but life took a different path and I took some time off. And once I got back in, I just love it.
And look what you've been able to accomplish in that bit of time. I mean, it's incredible. And it seems like your brother was a big part of that. I mean, not only being your agent, but just kind of giving you what you, and like I said, like you've been able to help like me, and you didn't even probably, like I said, didn't even realize it. And that just goes with just how humble you are. Like just that little conversation and giving me that confidence, it opened up a doorway for me now to want to ref a little bit more higher level, a little bit more competitive level, other than your typical men's league, because that's a lot of what I do. And I'm so grateful for that conversation that we were able to have. And it seems like your brother was like definitely the person that kind of started that for you, to
Yeah.
give you that confidence, and I think that that's awesome. It's the White family, man. They're just
A confidence, a
confidence
swing
boosters.
kick.
I love that. I love that. Bexy, why don't you take us to our next level of
Yeah,
refereeing
so
here?
I mean, we gotta talk about this because this is what happened last year, and you actually got voted the AHA referee of the year. I mean,
So
like
awesome.
you're like, oh, I started late and like I trial by fire, but like
Perfect segment.
you're
Going right into
getting,
it.
you know what I mean? Like clearly, like it's known the impact. I mean, I think you done like 8 IIHF tournaments, the college stuff, the national stuff. So like what does that kind of like acknowledgement mean for you?
I mean, as you said, like I'm not really good at talking about myself or like even just like looking back where I need to like make a resume. I'm like, oh wow, like I've done a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just the people that have helped me along the way
Hmm.
are the people from the district, and having those people be the ones to nominate you as the official of the year is just an honor. Like it's those people that have helped you and developed you, and now you get to be recognized as doing well and
Hmm.
succeeding in the things that they've taught you. And it's just an honor to be selected. And I'm still kind of processing,
Yeah.
I guess.
That's fair.
It wasn't that long ago. I mean, it
Yeah.
really wasn't that long ago. It was when we were. I remember seeing it, and Bexy had shared it, and I was like learning more, and then I was like, oh, and then I was like, wait a minute, isn't that the win that you were just asking? It all kind of came full circle for me, and I was like, I thought it was incredibly impressive. And so if you want me asking, just how does that process kind of happen? Like, is there like a bunch of is it just they kind of just fill out a ballot and they put it in, or are there other candidates more or less, or is it just like they just kind of put in a name in the hat and they say this is who we want?
I have no idea.
I love that. I
As
love
far
that.
as I know there's nominations and then they
Okay.
select from there, but that is above me.
I love it. I love it.
Um,
And is
maybe
there like
one
an
day
award?
I'll be selecting.
You know what? Add to the goal list. I can't see how that wouldn't be possible. Then that would be pretty awesome. Maybe someone will write me in. Imagine that. I'd be like, you guys
I
are
did
fucking
use my
crazy.
speech to try and recruit the high school athlete of the year that was for female officiating to come to
I
our
love
dark
that.
side.
I mean that was pretty smart. That's a nice solid
Who's
move.
better?
Just
Who
slid it
better to
right in there.
recruit?
Yeah.
And maybe
And
you'll be their agent next.
yeah, right, exactly. Um, she she's gonna have the Uncle Sam hat. I want you.
I want you.
No,
I
but
love that. It's really
also
cool.
also like last year, like dude, like you were just like glass ceilings, like getting acknowledgement. Like last year was just like, you know what? Like here we go. I mean, you did the high school hockey championships for New Jersey, first woman to
Mhm.
ever do that. High school hockey championships for Pennsylvania, first woman to do that. Referee of the year. Like, do you sleep?
um, no. I've been very fortunate that my day job, I work remote, so I've been able to take it
Mhm.
with me, but they haven't killed me yet. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds for that.
Yeah, because you've also been like all like you said, your first assignment Taiwan. Like
Yeah.
like you didn't even like go like close to home. So like that is just
I
an
know.
unreal thing. Where I gotta ask, where is the coolest place like for IAHF you got to go?
I spent 2.5 weeks in Siberia in a
Oh
a
wow.
snowsuit they provided for me. A giant blueberry snowsuit in IHF. It was the Universiade tournament there, so it was like a bunch of. It's basically like the Winter Olympics, but like collegiate level. So
Okay.
it's all the sports in all one area, all the countries, all the teams. Like it's the biggest tournament I've been a part of as far as athletes and officials from other countries and sports.
Mhm.
So having that atmosphere and being in the middle of Siberia for 2 weeks was just a crazy experience.
Yeah, like
So
that's something
awesome.
Yeah.
you'll never forget.
Siberia. That's gotta be so cold. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
They gave us a full snowsuit and
Do you
all
still have the
sorts.
snowsuit?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
That's the
skied in it
best.
like 2 years ago. I used it and I went skiing in Vail in Colorado and I used my blueberry snowsuit. I was the warmest one on the mountain.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Bex, you go ahead. If there's nothing else you want to add, we could go
Hockey,
into our final
listen,
before we go
guys,
into good
not
checks.
just hockey can take you anywhere. Reffing hockey can take you
Oh yeah.
anywhere, including to a blueberry snowsuit in Siberia.
Oh my goodness. I
But
love
anyway,
it. I
okay,
love
so
it.
let's talk about something a little closer to home, which is the American Hockey League.
Yeah. It's pretty remarkable.
You are part of the first group of women to ever be selected to be a part of that. So like we said, glass ceilings just shattering, like
Shattering.
you have to wear shoes in your house because it's all over the floor. So yeah, can you kind of take us through like I don't even know where to begin there.
Yeah,
Like
how this kind of happened. I guess like they do the background check more or less. I imagine and the conversations are held, and then I guess, and it's so funny because like from my standpoint, you see like what games are open on from the assigner. I imagine like it's not like that for the AHL. Like, oh yeah, I'll just select this game. I'm sure it's completely different.
No, it's more like, can I please work this game? um,
Yeah.
no, but after COVID, so I had applied for the NHL Combine as kind of like an open application. I had
Mhm.
applied for it before COVID, didn't get in,
Mhm.
totally fine, didn't really expect it, but I was like, might as well
Sure.
try. And then after COVID, I reapplied and I just went into and I got accepted. So I went into like full training mode. And I was actually, I had a lot of assistance from Katie Gay that was on the development side.
Mhm.
She's an absolutely great official. I worked with her college hockey. She actually worked the first game in the AHL, and she had the opportunity. Like you're competing against each other. You're not you're competing as a team. You want the
Yeah.
best team on the ice, but she actually reached out and was like, "Here's what you need to be prepared for this camp." And
That's awesome.
she absolutely did not have to do that, and it was
No, she
just
didn't.
such an awesome thing to do. And she wanted to grow the team and bring everyone up with her as opposed to stepping on anybody to get to a spot. Like she never would have to do that because she's just such a great official. So she reached out and was like, here's what you need to do to prepare. And I did everything I could. And I, I felt good. Like I felt good at camp and all that stuff. And I didn't expect anything from it. I just wanted to network and meet more people, officials, and I always want to compete. Like Beck said, we don't have a neutral. We just have a go mode. So
Love it.
I was in go mode, and then like a couple weeks later, I get an email and asked me to officiate the rookie camp in the Lightning rookie camp down in Tampa, and I was like, absolutely, like.
Yeah.
And then I get an email asking to for AHL training camp. And I like actually sat on that one for a second and I was like, is this sure this was like meant for me? I like didn't want to reply back and be like, yes, absolutely. And I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
actually, I didn't mean like I was actually kind of in shock. So I like took a second to like reply back and I was like, absolutely. Like
Love it.
I want to be available and ready for any opportunity that comes, no matter what it is.
I love hearing that because once again, it brings. I keep going back to it because I can't express like how important it was. Like being ready and like just like questioning of like, am I ready for this? And like I was just grateful enough that when I was making that decision, I just so happened to have you, Santora, and literally having conversations with Brian, and like it altered my mind so much after I got done those games just this past weekend. Like I'm ready to take on more and different challenges. So like I'm gonna keep expressing like you helped me so much to do that. I never thought I would have been able to do it, and I never thought that I would want to like open up and do other more competitive hockey. And I've gotten into this late. Like I'm 35. I'm just about to hit my first year of refing, and just the people I had around me and like the conversations I got to have with you now makes me want to open up and ref more competitive hockey. So hearing like kind of like a little bit about your story, like it just was so helpful. And like I said, I'll continue to keep going back to it probably throughout, like, and continue to talk about it. Like it was just so important that like I had those words of encouragement to be able to do it, because I would have continued to keep saying no. I would have, or I never would have put in for those games. And now I'm literally looking for those games. I'm
Good.
literally looking for those games now to ref that higher level. And you know, even with the parents and coaches, it made it so much more of a fun atmosphere instead of just refing your typical men's league. So like once again, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like I thank you so much for just those words of encouragement, and like because I don't think I would have did it. I don't think I would have did it.
And
So
I
I'm
have
very
those
grateful.
people in my life, and that means a lot, and it means a lot to me to be that person for you. And
Yeah.
to this day, like even little things on the ice, like I work with a guy all the time, and we go from a bunch of different systems. We have two
Hmm.
official, three official, where it's 1, 2, 2, 1, and then four official. Then you have different speeds, you have different paces, you have different levels, and it's just all a different game. And it's all these things that you have to adjust to. There's different rule books, and
Yeah.
all these things are in your head. So I'm working a game. I think it was like last year or the year before at nationals, and like men's college nationals locally, and it was nice. Like I was skating in the corner, and I was like, working the corner, dodging, 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 dodging. And
Oh yeah.
my partner came up to me and was like, he's like, um, your corners, like your position in the corners look really good. And I was like, honestly, that means a lot to me, because that was for a while, like it was kind of something I was getting stuck between systems, or like
Hmm.
misstepping, or like not reading it right. And like to have someone that you work with all the time, like point that out to you, like it looks good. Like
Yeah.
you look comfortably, like you look more comfortable. You look like you improved there. It was just like, that still sits with me, that like, thank you. Like thank you for noticing. And you just have that team and that network. And
I love that. Well, maybe one day when she has some free time, we'll have her come out and watch one of my games. Oh my god, I could imagine looking up and be like, "Oh shit, Laura's here watching me."
I was just thinking, when
Be so
one of
grateful.
these episodes where it's just you and me, Frankie, and we do like the Bex's hockey breakdowns. Maybe
Hmm.
I'll do a little segment with Laura talking about like the different refing systems, because people don't realize that or don't know that like there's big differences between a 2-man, a 3-man, a 4-man
Hmm.
system, or person system. I guess we should be PC
official.
Eight,
here.
eight you, eight you, one person. I love those games. They're fun. Those
Yeah.
kids are great.
Um,
Professional eight you referee here. So what teams have you been able to ref for in the AHL before we transition on?
I've had a little bit of a variety. Like obviously, closest is Lehigh, and then we got
Okay,
Wilkes-Barre.
cool. Oh, the Phantoms. That's right. I did see that. Yeah, that's really cool.
So that's been great. Actually, my first game was there, and I have a jersey framed in the basement from it, which was really nice
Love that.
for them to do. Um, I actually have a buddy, Chuck, that works for the off ice, and he had them sign, and so I have it framed. So
That's
it's a
really
nice
cool.
memorabilia I get to keep in my basement bar.
Gotta
Um,
keep that kind of thing. Gotta keep that kind of thing. I love that. Like behind me, like obviously I'm in the process of moving, but I have my high school jersey behind me. That's from the high school I played at for Father Judge. And like those little things, I'm just like, they're just cool to keep. So that's good. As humble as you are, you're able to kind of put up that proud little moment and hang that up on the
yeah,
bar wall,
my dad
as I
got me
heard
a
you
shadow
say.
box for it, so it's nicely framed.
nice.
Yeah, mine's on a hanger, on a screw.
It's all right. You can get a shadow box in the next house.
Yes, yes, we absolutely plan on it. But yeah, I mean, we're from the AHL, and like I said, I got to see some clips and stuff like that. And obviously, there's a tons, whether you want to admit it or not, there's a ton of publicity around you, and like a lot of good articles that were written, and a lot of good things that were being said. So it's incredibly humble on our part for you to be able to join us, and maybe give a little plug for Bexy for making this happen as well. But back to
I
why you
know, I know.
transition.
Listen, you gotta have friends that like
I have friends.
when people look at you, go, "Oh wow, you know them." Like
It happens.
I'm not cool. My friends are cool.
Oh, you're cool.
Nah,
I
you're the
don't know
coolest.
about that, but no, like I don't know, like it just there's something to be said about like surrounding yourself with like not just people who achieve things, but
Hmm.
like that can be humble about what they're achieving, that want
Yeah,
to, grow as humans and grow in what they're doing and I'm very lucky that I've had people like you and Laura in my life that continually inspire me to be a better person to try
I love
to
that.
and so like
That's what
it
we're here for, man.
right and like
I see the
and
same
if I
thing.
can
I
take a
mean,
minute to like be
so
like, yo,
important.
look at my cool friend
Look
because
at our cool
my
friends.
friends over
I
here like,
mean,
nah, I'm just gonna rep these games and it's not a big deal.
yeah,
Like let's do
I love that, and it's important because, like I said, I mean, Laura could have simply just said, whatever, but like she had a conversation and then gave me some words of encouragement, and she didn't have to do that, like, and she did, and it just shows like what she's wanting to give back to the sport and give back to the officials because it's tough. I mean, certain atmospheres can be very, very difficult, and that's why there's such a need for referees these days. And people having someone like Laura and Santora in my life to be able to give me the do's and don'ts of it only now makes me gain that confidence, continue to ref, look for higher games, and then maybe one day I could pass that down and help a younger ref or bring in a younger ref because of the people that I had around me, because of the people that Santora had around him, because of the people that Laura had with her brother. Like, it's the people you surround yourself with, and I'm incredibly grateful. I really am. So with that being said, let's just do a quick plug. Like those of you that are just joining us, you already missed an incredible episode so far. We have Laura White on talking a little bit about her referee journey, Flyers training camp, just all types of good things. And we're gonna get into one of our favorite segments, and that's the gut checked one, which I love because nobody ever knows these questions. Bexy, this is your segment. Yeah, we'll
yeah.
let you take it
So
over
we got
here.
gut check. Gut checked
I got you.
is sponsored by Grove Wellness. So acupuncture, hypnotherapy, anything you might need to get you back at top physical performance,
What an incredible
or add a
experience that
little
was.
recovery. Also, the fall we get the sniffles, that little chill coming in. Definitely go check them out. They're on Broad Street in Lansdale,
That
and
was
follow them
that was
on
a
all their social media.
that was an incredible experience, by the way. I just recently got acupuncture done for the first time by Charles over there at Grove Wellness Center, and I was terrified. Once again, someone that makes you feel comfortable getting into something that you're not too sure about. The people that you surround yourself with. I was terrified, and he made me feel so incredibly comfortable. I literally thought that I had like an out of body experience, and like the effects lasted for quite a few days. Can't wait to get back there to go see Charles and Steph. So make sure you go see them as well. That we sent you. But Bexy, take it
All
over.
right, we're
Here we go,
hitting you
Lar.
with hard question number one. What's your favorite call to make?
I think it goes back to my playing days. I think it's the violent ones. Those ones that make you gut check your, the
No
ones you
pun
have to
intended.
process the entire time going to the box to like, how high do I need to label this? Like, what was the level? Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
I love that.
If there was a rule you could change, what would you change?
Oh
Or would
boy.
you add or
Ooh.
take away?
Which rule book?
Okay, your pick.
They change every single year. Honestly, I know it's up for dispute, but the whole automatic offsides thing, it's
Very
been
interesting
changed.
you say that because it was the first time I had to deal with that because refing. I've never the automatic offsides was something that I haven't really had to deal with too much with some of the games I've refed. So, and when I refed the two women's games, that was a thing, and I had to get brought to my attention. It was funny because when the guy who I refed with, he told me about it, and then he pretty much tested me and like waited until and see if I was going to get it, and he saw I blew it, and I saw him do one of these. Like, good job, awesome. He knows. I'm an up guy. Well, at training camp, we saw the one referee do a little half up, half down. I was like, don't do that, brother. Because that's when they get you. But it went
Giving
well,
up the
so that's
flag
cool. Yeah, just a full on robot out there.
with my hands.
Love that
How do
one.
I
Good
safe?
job.
Just sweat on mine. That's fine.
Save.
All right. So, get rid of the automatic. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, just because I'm not used to it. I mean, it's just my body doesn't adjust to it. I know
That's
it's
fair.
from a development level, but as a referee, it's just very hard to adjust to a game where you're going delay, and the next game you're like, no, it's automatic.
Just full
Yeah,
won't fall
that's
over.
fair. That's fair.
I love that. Yeah, Betsy, hit her on the next one.
All right. Rolling over to question 3. Do I want you on my bar sports team or my hockey team?
Bar sports.
Bar sports. All right. There you
I
have
am
it, guys.
deeply competitive in all aspects, and I don't like losing at even bar games.
So, all right.
It's very true. I remember watching her at the Checker for Charity, and I can only imagine being in this situation where Laura's a player and one of the refs kind of were make a couple, a little rough going out there, and having Laura out there knowing her accolades and she's peppering you a little bit. I was like, good God, how in the hell are they going to be able to argue or like, have anything to say? Because that would have been tough. That would have been tough. She's like, you could do better than that. You're better than this. I was like, fuck, you probably know. Like, you know what? I can. Laura told me herself. But yeah, Bexy.
Yeah, so all right, and then I gotta know, what was the penalty you got called for the most while you were playing?
I'm gonna go with roughing.
Roughing? Okay, I was gonna go with checking, but roughing, yeah, I believe it.
Well, I played men's hockey most of the time, so it was. I only got the women's the women's checking calls towards the end.
Fair. All right.
So funny.
And then last question here, a nice little softball for you. Would you rather be a ref or a linesman?
Referee.
I love that.
So
I love
that was
that.
our
And
gut check segment. Not too bad, pretty fun.
not
Thanks
too
for
bad at all.
playing.
I love it. See, it wasn't too bad. It was harmless, right? Everybody gets all nervous. Everybody gets all nervous about trying something new, and then you gotta have a
You
little.
never know what's gonna come from those.
Yeah. So
100%.
reffing over lines. I know you said that change happened for you while it was like your first nationals. You're a ref fan, so is there like a leaning for that, a particularity? Like, is it like you don't want to be involved in scrums? Like, what leads you there?
For me, I started as a lines position, so I learned the game from the line spot as far as officiating. Getting into the junior leagues locally, it's kind of where you start. It's kind of you get the guidance, you get to work with the teams from there, and then you kind of work your way into the referee spot. And for me, just getting into the ref spot just clicked for me. I can't. I literally cannot go back to lining at this point. I want to be a person who's good at both, but it just one thing just clicks for me and one thing does not. And I know a lot of officials that can flow evenly back and forth, and it just, to me, it doesn't click. So
you put yourself in the position of strengths. And speaking of the one, the only little comment here from the one and only Brian Santora, she's too short to line.
I have a better view of the blue line.
He puts a little smiley face. Santora, my man, thanks for checking in. I'm sure we'll be hearing from him a lot. We've been mentioning you quite a few times on the show earlier, and just because he's on watching now, thank you for your assistance as well with getting me to ref those 2 games because they went very, very well. I haven't had a chance to reach out to him, but yeah. So kind of like this little topic of conversation, kind of like with like women and officiating and lining, like, is there like it's all by choice, bro. There's no rule or anything like that because obviously with the physicality and stuff like that like women can't necessarily ref certain like or ref or officiate, or, whether it be officiating or lining. This is preferably by choice, correct? Or is it like there's an actual rule like, hey, we're not putting women in this position, so this is a new rule? It's more or less by preference, I imagine, correct?
Yeah, I mean, there's no rule to it. It's obviously the supervisors get to see you skate. They get to see you in a position of they know the spots they need to fill in any league. Any league, there might just be more refs and there might be more lines, and they say, hey, you're just gonna have to wait to be one or the other.
Okay.
And this is what you need to work towards to get there. But other than that, like it's where you fit. Like they want the people in that position to succeed for the game. The whole point is to be there for the game and just to put the proper pieces in the proper places. As far as requirements, obviously you see the NHL with the huge lines. You have huge referees. You have even in the AHL, there's some height differences. There's some size differences. It's all about strategy, all about learning the game, and it's all about training for the position that you're in.
So,
It's well said.
do you see, like, obviously, you're in, reffing in the AHL, and I imagine that, like, because you were what, a class of 10, like, so I imagine there are women who are aligning in the AHL, and like some people will be like, oh, like they shouldn't or they can't, or like they're getting this over, like, over a man. Like, you guys went through the same combine, correct? Like,
Yep.
so most likely they're, I guess lack of better words, qualified to do the job rather than just being put there to fill a DE and I situation.
Yeah, and there's always gonna be criticism. People are always gonna be
Yeah.
negative, especially anything you put on the internet. I've caught myself like one time reading comments, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." And
Going down the rabbit hole.
yeah, people are just like, "Why do you even bother reading the comments?" Like it's the people that aren't impacting anything that you do. It's the people that have not have they're on their couch, and then that's where they're at, and that's fine. It's just
I love it.
it's not the people that you need to worry about. The criticism is always going to be there, no matter what you do, no matter what position you are. Like it could be, you could walk your dog on the internet and someone will tell you you're using the wrong leash. Like there's no winning. So it's just a matter of knowing that you're doing what you need to do. And it's a matter of the feedback that you're getting from the officiating development team, like the NHL supervisors, the AHL supervisors that are there at the games. And that's what matters. So it's knowing that you're doing what you need to do to be there and that you're doing.
And you're always going to be put in a position where, like, any assigner has the right to override with a yes or no if they think that, like, you're being put in a position that to succeed more or less, and especially like with like how long you've been reffing for, like you're not you getting an opportunity to ref wherever it may be is because you're the best person for the job. Whether it be official or linesman, like this is where she does very well. This is where she has done incredible experience. Why would we want to put the best person for that position? Has nothing to do with not being women or male. Has nothing to do with the training of like, oh well, this person's done better. Like you're being put in those positions because you're succeeding in them, and they're not gonna set anybody up to fail. At least for I imagine like you're on your level. Me, I'm being put in positions where we're going to test it out and see how it works, and it's worked well. And like I said, once again, it's now opened up my eyes to like wanting to do a little bit more competitive and grow and go there. But like for AHL or whether it be male or female, those are the right people for the job, and that's why they're being selected. It has nothing to do with male or female. And I'm more or less kind of going on a rant here because yeah, there's people out there that will have that alter their mindset of not what we're talking about here, but like, oh, are they doing it because they're trying to protect women? Like, everybody knows what they're getting involved in. Hockey is an incredible physical sport. If they know that official or linesman is doing their job correctly, one, they're going to be able to avoid that kind of thing, and two, they're going to be able to take control of it. That just all comes with experience and probably reputation as well. And both stand for with your skill, with your reputation, and the fact that you know exactly what to do at the right time. That's why these opportunities are coming. So, that was a little rant there because there's people out there that just like to totally look the other way.
That's kind of the point where you can only do so much to train to get into a position, and we just got to this level, and there's nothing like this speed. Like just officiating in the AHL, like there's nothing like it. Like there's no other speed or atmosphere that's going to that you can practice on your own. Like when you're in that game, that is your learning opportunity. You obviously want to get everything right, but that's just not realistic. Like there's people there to give you feedback so that you can learn from it and grow from it, but you're not going to be the best you've ever been on that game. Like you're not going to be, I'm here because I'm the best and I'm going to be the best and I'm going to perform the best. Like you're here because you trained well, you took feedback and you applied it, and now you're going to see this level, learn this level, and try and develop at this level and take what feedback you have and apply it to future games. But you're not going to go in there and just be like, I'm perfect. Like that's absolutely not even a reasonable expectation. So there's going to be situations that you're going to get wrong, and you're going to have someone there to give you feedback, and either you learn from it, apply it, and you're better in the future, or you're replaced with someone that will be like, and that's
100%. And very, very well said. And kind of on that topic here, when my man Desi checks in, women are amazing in the game of hockey, so knowledgeable and dedicated. The NHL will be lucky to have women on the ice. They know the game plain and simple. And I love that. And that's really well said, Desi. And I appreciate you kind of making that comment, because that kind of transitions into like, towards now the end of the show, which is like NHL and in the future. And, do we see, how long until we start to see, women's officials or linesmen in the NHL? I mean, obviously, we just saw for the first time an assistant head coach with the Seattle Kraken, first time ever. Absolutely love it. I think it's amazing to see. I think we also just saw two presidents that own clubs that went up against each other, first time ever. How far along do you think we are until we start to see female, linesmen or referees in the NHL?
And obviously, I don't know an exact timeline, or I have any kind of.
I know, you don't have the date on hand? Come on.
Yeah, breaking news, everybody.
I also have the future lottery tickets. But no, I don't think there's an exact like date to it. It's just like I said, gaining that experience. Like people ask me over the last like couple years where it's been, when will you be in the NHL? Like that's not an option. Like that's not what I wanted to discuss at the time, because it's like I just got to this level. I need time. I need experience. I need to learn this before you get thrown into literally the highest level of hockey available. Like I want to learn. I want to be better at my job first before I even step into that role. If that were even an opportunity for me. I know the question was up there for the lines. I know Kirsten Welsh has been working and she's been training. She has been through the ringer with every single training camp she can possibly get her hands on. And it's just been amazing to see her development, and she's getting the feedback every single day, and she's working incredible amounts to be successful in her position, and she's lining and she's getting that experience. And I think if anyone's going to go there, like I'm absolutely all for it, for her getting in that spot. I think she's put in time and work, and
and that's what it comes with, just the hard work and stuff like that. And in my opinion, more or less, I don't think we're far. I don't think it's going to be too much longer until we do see it. And I wouldn't be surprised if you were one of those women that were going up there. And I have to ask the burning question: if and when that opportunity comes, will you accept it, and will you go and ref or line in the NHL?
I would 100% accept it. I just probably wouldn't tell anyone, because let
us know so we could be there.
I'll just get texts after the game and be like, did I just see it? Like,
were you
oh my God. I would be like, are you kidding me?
I'll go to different cities, and then someone will text me and be like, I just streamed the game and saw you were on it. Like, you didn't even tell me you were here. I was like, I was just thinking about the game. Like, I
respect that.
I'm in the press box and I'm like writing my article, and then I'm like, wait, okay, then we have to write a new article now.
Text me and be like, are you in Minnesota? I'm like, yes. I just watched your game. Like, why didn't you tell me you were here? I'd be like, I just was focused on getting here and doing what I needed to do.
It's actually a smart approach. It's actually a very smart approach, believe it or not. I couldn't. I'm be a little upset, but I couldn't blame you for that approach whatsoever. I love it. Yeah, that's my opinion. We'll be there we'll find out. We'll fucking find out. Thanks. I'll let you touch on the NHL in the future before we kind of start the transition now and find out what's next for Laura here.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think it's Kristen Welsh putting in the work, and like you said, it just comes down to wanting it, trying your damnedest to get there, and taking what is given and skating with it. And we didn't even touch. You have ref the new women's professional league, the PWHL, as well. So like you're just everywhere all the time. So
I tell everyone, I just go where I'm told. Whatever rule book I'm in, I check my cheat sheets and study up on that. So I just go where I'm told and try and do my best.
So then what's next, Lar?
What's yeah?
What's next? Like what like are you like, across the country next week? Like
Well, I'm
where in
actually
the
learning how to
world?
fly airplanes now. I'm getting my pilot license.
Be cheaper.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
earn
What's
my
next for you?
miles.
What do we got going on? And anything you want to plug? We'll make sure. I know you mentioned a little bit about an event coming up. But yeah, tell us what's next for you.
Yeah, I mean, I just short term. I have we just got done training camp for college for women's college hockey, going
Okay.
over our rule change year, all sorts of stuff with that. I just did preseason yesterday at Penn State.
Nice.
So leading up into working a couple of ECAC games, and then next week I leave for a training camp. So it's AHL training camp is in Denver next week, and then it leads right into training camp for the PWHL. So we kind of go back to back there and just stay out in Denver. So be meeting a lot of that roster from that I don't get to see. Last season was a shortened season for the PW, just with the inaugural season.
Yeah, it was incredible. Very, very exciting to watch. It was awesome. I know Baxter was a huge fan of it, and we're
Yeah.
working on getting Baxi to show some representation over there as well. Once again, another great ambassador to sport and Baxi, and I think she'd be perfect over there, being able to cover the PW because she's such a huge fan of it. Do you know any of the players over at PWHL? I guess I'll start with you, Lauren. I'll ask you too, Baxi. Do you guys know any of the players that are playing over there?
Yeah, I mean, I've officiated a lot of them for a long time.
Yeah.
Going up from the different leagues, from the NWHL into the PHF, that
Mm-hmm.
now into the PWHL. That's kind of carried some of the same names, and then of course with the national team,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's pretty awesome. It's gotta be cool, like watching people that either you played with and seeing them like now you're repping their games in the PW. Like it's got to be a really cool moment. It kind of goes back to like as long as you guys been friends for watching Bex's first interview and her first article be surrounded around you. It was a proud moment and just like seeing like you're officiating or lining a game and like hey we played together years ago. Like it's got to be a cool little moment to be able to see something like that. I imagine.
Yeah, now flipping some to the dark side, I have one of the former Riveters is now a official.
I
So
love
now
that.
she's been texting me, and Ashley Johnson, her nickname Stretch. Her very first
Pretty
text to
human.
me was, so
I've
I
heard
keep
that.
getting recommended to you for officiating questions in the area, but first off, I just want to apologize for anything I've ever said to you.
Well
I
played,
love
well
that.
played, Stretch.
Yeah,
I love
so
that.
I'd like to
That's
apologize for
awesome.
anything I've ever said to you.
The
That's
whole
great.
game changes when you're a referee, I
Yeah.
imagine. But real quick before we transition, a couple comments here. My main man Aaron Danielson, he plays in my men's league here. Says, "Good evening, how we doing?" And he also jumps in and says, "Love watching the PWHL. Slightly salty a New York team is playing in Jersey again and not repping Jersey, i.e., Jets and Giants." Well, I noticed that like
Not wrong.
some teams, yeah, not wrong. Some teams are like playing because before, where were they playing at? They were playing Connecticut, weren't they back then?
They
You were
were
telling me
playing
that
in
one.
Connecticut. Yeah, they couldn't find a
Yeah.
home rink. I mean, again, they threw the whole entire league together in 6 months. You want to talk about the power of women. They put together a successful league in 6
Hmm.
months and
And
got it
packed
going
houses.
and got a
Yeah.
trophy made by Tiffany's. So, I mean,
It's pretty
what are
cool.
you gonna do? So yeah, they named it New York,
Tiffany's.
and they're playing out of the Rock this year. So anybody local, can get up there. New Jersey
Yeah.
Transit takes you right there into Newark. So definitely, take the time, check out the Sirens as they are now.
Oh yeah, you did
New
mention that. Yeah, we
names.
New
we talked about
names,
it
new
last
names,
week. Yeah,
slightly different colors and
I like it.
logos.
I like that a
Um,
lot. And
but
yeah, it's pretty cool.
maybe we'll have to
Sirens.
ask Stretch about some of the chirps she needed to apologize for.
Oh
If
man.
you need
But
church, she's the one.
all right,
Well,
well, I'll get in touch with her and be like,
I know
listen,
you
I
talked to her
gotta,
before. You mentioned
She's
the
the
name to me
one.
before,
yeah.
Baxi. I know that you have, but I know we obviously have our segment that we're going to dive into about like our events stuff like that. But since we have you, there's an event coming up here for the Philly Bully team. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what we got going on?
So the Fully Bully team is basically focused on bully breeds, but they'll take
Hmm.
in all breeds, including cats.
Okay.
They regularly take on animals with medical cases. So
Mhm.
they nurse them back to health, and then they get them ready to be adopted out into their forever homes.
Mhm.
So they're just taking these un- unfortunate situations of like animals that just get neglected or abused and just kind of nurse them back to health. And my sister is has been huge in the organization.
Okay.
She's fostered a lot of dogs and have gotten them to loving families and
That's
just ones
awesome.
that just wouldn't had a chance otherwise. And the fact that they take on the medical cases, they obviously have a lot of bills and a lot of things that they need to provide for the dogs in order to get them healthy again, which to the lives that they deserve.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know that they have a couple events coming up.
Awesome.
The Beers for Bullies is at Cosmetic Cafe Beer Garden on the 29th of this month.
Oh, all
And
right.
then there's the annual Pitties and Pumpkin Fest at Stray Dog Tavern, appropriately
Oh,
selected,
all right.
on
Yeah, perfect. I like
October
that.
20th. They
Stray
do have a
Dog
website.
Tavern. Nice.
They do a website underneath the Philly Bully Team.org, and
Cool.
there's like a donation section. There's a section that you can see all the dogs that are available for adoption or
Oh,
fostering if you would like to assist. And then any kind of donations would be greatly appreciated to get, them the
I
medical
love that.
attention that they need.
Are they accepting any raffle baskets or anything like that?
I can get you in contact
Give me
for
a
that.
information. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy to help out any way I can. Like obviously we have this list of the Hockey Players Unite event list, and majority of these that I mentioned, I'm involved one way or another, whether I'm volunteering to do photography work or I've donated raffle baskets. So I would love to be able to have that opportunity to do that for Philly Bully Team and their events as well. So
That'd
let
be
me
great.
know. Yeah, I'm happy to do it.
And we do
So
have
yeah,
those
what's up the
flyers, so we'll post them up for you guys if anybody has any, wants a reminder or needs to check
Yeah,
it
we'll throw
out.
them out.
Uh,
We'll
Throw
absolutely
them
throw
on
them
our
out on the
Facebook.
social. Yep, we'll throw all that good stuff. So we're gonna transition now into the final segment before we do the events, and that's our chirp of the week. And this one actually come from you, Bax, and this was actually a pretty good one, I thought. This was hey ref, is your phone on silent because you missed some calls? If someone ever said that to me, ref, I don't even know how I would react. I would absolutely die laughing. Like I would be like, dude, that's epic. Where did you come up with that one? Like, like, you know what I mean? It's funny refing games and playing at the same time because like I've ref some of the guys that like I know and they absolutely love peppering me. And it's all fun, but like like I said, it's a lot of men's league. But I'm just like, come on, boys, give me a break here. But like then again, it's like I don't give them a break when I'm playing against them.
Same.
So it's
Yeah, no, I like this one. It takes like the old like, glasses comment and brings it into like, the modern era kinda. So it's a good little laugh. But seriously,
Just remember no matter what you do, half the building's mad at you. So they have to do
true.
literally.
everything. So,
Oh, that's a good tip. That's a really good tip to
so
hear.
just do your job.
My good friend Bobby jumps in and says Frank is getting a job with the Savannah Bananas.
I want tickets for that.
I know that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And our trip of the week is actually sponsored by Crawl Daddy Saves. Follow Crawl Daddy Saves on YouTube at Crawl Daddy Saves. Mic'd up goalie, absolutely killer. Plays in my league. He's a good friend of mine. He played in our tournament team as well. But as we start the transition out, we'll hit with our finals here of some of our big events that we have coming up. We got the Camden County Warriors versus New Jersey State Troopers charity hockey game on October 5th. This is going to be a really cool event. I've been talking, I'm heavily involved in this one. This is going to be at Hollydale. $10 entrance donation. This goes to suicide awareness. I've been able to talk with the people involved with this one. Super excited to be a part of this. So add that to your list. We also have the Philadelphia Blind Hockey second annual hockey tournament, October 24th at Hatfield Ice. The showcase. We'll be down there. Bexy will be coaching that one. I'll be there doing photo work as well. And then a little personal to me, the No Deeks All Eats Food Drive. This is for WWMR's Camp Out for Hunger. Everything goes to Phil Abundance. We have we have a bin open over there at Grundy Ice Arena in Bristol. Stop by, drop some cans off. Would mean a lot to us. We're really excited about that one. It's the first time that we're going to be involved with them. But I've been doing photo work with Preston and Steve for the last 4 years. 4 years. I think it is. Maybe.
Four
I
is
think
the
so.
number for this show, apparently.
I feel like it's been like 4 years. It feels like it's been forever. But yeah, that's we did it. Got to thank Laura for joining us on this great episode. It's been an absolute pleasure. Bexy, if there's anything you want to add, by all means. But if not, then we're gonna cancel out and we're gonna get the hell out of here. So Bexy, you go right ahead. If there's anything you want to add.
If you guys didn't get enough Laura White content, again, check out the Edge of Philly website and
Oh
the
yeah,
latest article. There's some
first
great
one.
photos in there shot by Frankie over here. And
Thank you. Appreciate it.
one of my favorite things, if you ever get the chance to watch Laura ref, is Laura is very facially expressive. And Frankie caught those moments.
I appreciate that.
So yeah,
Means a
guys,
lot.
definitely, think about reffing, whether, you got a kid looking for a job for, as a teenager, you're, a retired adult, or you're just, want to find a way to give back. It's a really great opportunity, and who knows, you might be a a blueberry out in
Blueberry.
Siberia one day.
I love that. I love that. Well, that's good. Anything from you, Laura? Anything you want to add before we transition out?
No, it's just been great to be here. It's
Thank you.
just like I said, it's hard reflecting on all the things I do, and it's just so nice to see all the things that you guys do, and just having different parts of like my career. I was talking to Bex, like I'm happy to be a part of it, and I feel like I'm excited to do more, not so much promotional stuff, but just like
More
getting
media
more
stuff.
involved of locally, and
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know when I ref locally and you can come out and you can chirp me.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. I don't know. I'll probably poop my pants. That's going to do it for us here on this episode of Triple Bucks Podcast. Make sure you follow Edge of Philly Sports. Go check all them out. We'll be collabing with them really soon. Next week, we have my good friend Desi on. We're starting our promotion for the big hockey tournament on October 5th. That's going to do it for us here. Everybody have a good night, and thank you so much for joining us.